Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's Michael Rayford, How Money Works educator. Glad that you guys could join me today in the second of the 5 elements workshops. This is concepts. Last week was foundation. And so we're going to jump right into it. Fix my glasses. Okay, but what I always love to show first is the How Money Works media video so that you get a really good understanding of who we are, what we do, and why we do it. So check this out.
More than 5 billion people around the world continue to struggle with money and financial illiteracy.
The financial industry is not set up for you to be educated and know what's going on. The less you know, the more they make.
How bad is financial illiteracy?
It's not taught in schools, so people don't know this naturally.
Oh, you're right.
So you grow up not knowing anything about it. You make a lot of mistakes along the way, and we're hoping to educate them and teach them how money really works so they can learn the cause and effect of all this.
And it doesn't have to be generational. Break that cycle.
We're on a crusade to eradicate financial literacy through learning how money really works. Everybody should have an opportunity to become educated.
How money works.
How money works. How money works. How money works.
How money works.
Start taking responsibility by learning how money works.
You have to know how money works.
How money works. Stop being a sucker.
Money means possibility. It means opportunity. It means freedom, things you've always wanted to do, dreams that you have. Money makes it possible.
Now that is an awesome video, and I get excited every time I see that because it lets me know that I'm a part of a campaign that is affecting the country and potentially the world. So as you can see, our founders, authors of the How Money Works book. So this is a financial education book that anyone from the age of 10 to 100 can enjoy. And then also, speaking of 100, the book has been featured on over more than 100 prominent TV shows, including CNBC, CBS, ABC, and also Fox. So the How Money Works book has received a rare endorsement from, and you see on my shirt, the Heartland Institute of Financial Education. It has also been reviewed and referenced all over the web. Of course, the internet, that's where we go for our information, including the popular online financial publication, Make It by CNBC. You can also follow How Money Works for practical tips and helpful resources on Instagram. Now, I know a lot of you have not received the book yet. You may have seen it, but just let me know, once we're done with the class so I can make sure that I get a copy to you. So in today's class, this is the second of the 5 elements titled Concepts. So once you complete all 5 elements classes, you'll be entitled to receive a certificate of completion signed by, of course, the authors and myself. Also, students who attend at least one of the elements classes can take advantage of a free 30-minute consultation with one of our How Money Works experts. Would love to help you do that. Just let me know. So we are trained to help you chart your course to financial independence using what we call our 7 money milestones methodology. And everybody goes through that. So the concepts are core guiding principles that enable millions to create financial stability and also wealth. They prove that by knowing the basic building blocks of how money works, you can empower yourself for a better life and also a better future. So one of the takeaways I want you to focus on as we talk about these concepts is waiting is the enemy of wealth. So, we as human beings, we like to put things off until tomorrow. That could be our biggest enemy. So when it comes to growing your money, every day counts. So we're going to dive right in. So over the 5 parts of this elements course, we're going to take you through what's called the 7 money milestones. It is your step-by-step action plan designed to help you chart the course from where you are today to financial security and financial independence. So the good news is that no one is either too far behind or too far ahead to not benefit from these 7 money milestones. So everybody can benefit from knowing this information, no matter where you are financially. So the first milestone is one you've already on your way to completing, and that would be the education. So you're becoming more financially ready with each page. So also remember, a financial professional is the best person to turn to for questions on details. We can also discuss this with you later if you don't have one or need help choosing one. Here's another way to say this. So we definitely want to make sure that you have a financial professional that you know, like, and trust. But think about this: in the world of money, and this is your money, there are 2 essential tools you need to win. We know the best starting point for everyone is to combine a financial education with a financial professional. So take this education seriously because it's your money. No one cares about your money more than you. You didn't get this from school. You didn't get it from your parents. Maybe you got something from school. Maybe you got something from your parents, but it possibly was not enough, or even your friends. So you want to treat your finances with the level of dedication you put into your health. We Google things, we ask questions, but then turn to someone you know, like, and trust to help you for this part. Now, during today's class, we'll cover these 3 concepts. Very, very important concepts. So each one is essential to the startup required to begin making financial decisions with confidence and start taking action to get yourself on track with your money. So it's the time value of money, the rule of 72, and then also probably my favorite is the $1 Million Baby. So first, the time value of money. So we've all been guilty of squandering time. I mean, I think that's one of our biggest issues as human beings is we waste a lot of time. It's especially costly when you lose the value of your money over that time. You never get that time back. You never get the lost money back. So time is one of the most precious commodities. So how long do you have until, let's say, you pay off your mortgage, pay off your house, or if you have kids, how long is it before you send your kids to college, or how long is it before you retire, or possibly to run out of money before you die? So you need to know your numbers, and you may ask why, because it forces you to use the value of time we have. So once you put pen to paper and you recognize those numbers, it will hopefully cause you to take some extra steps of action. So there are 3 ways to leverage time value of money. Number 1 is to start right now. Number 2 is to save regularly. And then also number 3 is to, of course, be patient. Now, starting earlier is always a great idea. It makes a significant difference. And then as you can see in this example, so in this case, saving from ages 22 to 30 is better than from ages 30 to 67, which in turn is $110,000 better after putting away almost 5 times less money. But because you took advantage of time, you had to put in less money, and you also grew more money. So time is extremely important. Now, this is a common sense principle to understand that is frequently ignored. The longer you wait, the more you have to save to hit your goal. So do not wait. I'm going to say that again. The longer you wait, the more you have to save to hit your goal. So you do not want to wait. So if you look at the examples here, you can see at 20 years old, in order to save up $1 million, you only need to save about $113 per month. However, if you wait till you are 45, that number is $1,200 a month. Now, really, who has a disposable income to do that? So time is extremely important. Now, here is a picture of the numbers that break down this completely by age. So for each million you want in retirement, you can see the monthly amount you need to save to hit. So at age 30, you need about $282 per month to have your $1 million in retirement. But if you wait until you're age 40, you need to save $731 per month. So at some point, you'll outpace your ability to hit the monthly savings amount required, right? You simply can't afford it, which I don't think most people can. And at that point, you'll have two choices. You either have to shrink your dreams, or you have to find a way, an additional way to earn more money. So that could be a side hustle. It could be a higher paying job. It could be becoming an entrepreneur. So you have to decide how you want that quality of life to be in your later years. Now might be a good time to start applying these principles for yourself and see what that looks like. So write down your age and then how much you need to save from the previous slide. So what happens if you wait 5 years? How fast has the last 5 years gone by? Everyone needs to know this information now because time is tick, 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 ticking away. So we need to start today. So if we think about the sucker, and we also think about the wealthy, they think in two different ways. So sucker-minded people never think it's a good idea to take care of this. They continue to put it off and put it off and put it off. On the other side, the wealthy-minded always get started as soon as they can, which is now, if not sooner, right? They're always thinking about how can I have my money work harder for me so I don't physically have to work any harder, right? There's only 24 hours in a day. Now let's take a look at an example of something most parents dream about. And so this is definitely one of my favorite concepts. So if you have children or plan to have children, you always want them to have a better life than you. I think that's just the way it is. It's natural. This example is a reimagining of how parents can leave a legacy for their kids. So it's a strategy that applies the power of compound interest and the time value of money in a way that makes traditional end-of-life wealth transfer seem old-fashioned and unnecessary. So we call it, at How Money Works, we call it the $1 Million Baby. So let's take a deeper dive. So this is a stat that says only 20% of children will receive an inheritance, and it's probably even lower now that many people have, we've faced a lot of challenges over the last 3 years. So that percentage has probably gone down, but definitely something to think about. So if you want to give your children or your child $1 million at their retirement, which is more likely for you? You either give them each $1 million in cash when they're adults and you've saved enough, or you develop a plan to save a fraction of what that amount for each child would be when they're young. And then you allow time to do the work for you. So we know how hard it is for retirement age parents to preserve an inheritance for their adult children. Like life happens. With seniors living longer, almost all their savings may be required to cover decades of expenses, including medical bills, long-term care. This new reality of longevity can remove the possibility of leaving an inheritance the old way. So things have got to change, and this is a definite possibility for most people. Now, since it's hard to leave an inheritance today, why not use the greatest financial asset your child has? That is time. They have an entire life of it. What could the power of compounding do for your child over 67 years? So we're going to take a look at that. So the $1 Million Baby leverages 3 simple money concepts: the power of compound interest, the time value of money, and wealth protection. So this is one of my favorite quotes, right? Nelson Henderson said, "The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit." So you are planting trees for your next generations when you won't benefit from it at all. They will benefit from it and hopefully have a better life than you did. So let's keep moving. So could you use the money principles you've learned today to save $1 million for your child or grandchild? Think about that. What you've learned so far today, can you save $1 million for your child or grandchild? And it's simply easier than you think. So the following examples are simple to illustrate how it can work. So I'm going to show you that. So let's take this example, which shows Dana putting away $13,000 aside one time. She's putting aside $13,000 one time and leaves it for her daughter from birth until her daughter turns 67. So it grows at a 6.5 interest rate to a little over $1 million. So $13,000 now at 6.5% interest over 67 years. Her daughter now has a little over $1 million. If she waits, however, because we do procrastinate, we wait and we wait and we wait. So if Dana waits until her daughter graduates from high school, her daughter only receives about $300,000 when she turns 67. So what a difference 18 years can make. About $700,000 because you waited 17 years or 18 years. Now, this example shows Hector, who doesn't have $13,000 sitting around in an account under his mattress, but he still wants his son to retire with $1 million. So this is the power of family. He and his relatives can work together to save about $2,500 now, and then $250 each month for the next 4 years. So think about a car payment. 4-year car payment, $250 a month. We do that all the time. Well, and in today's world, people are driving cars much longer. So, but just think about that concept. It's just like buying a used car. You put $2,500 down. You pay $250 a month for 4 years, and the car's paid off. Now imagine, like magic, he'll hit the goal of $1 million as well. So his son will also retire with $1 million waiting for him at 67. Amazing. Now, if Hector waits until his son again turns 18 like Dana, it's the same story as if Dana had waited much less, a little over $300,000 again. So time is the enemy. We have to start now. So if you've got young children, I mean, the power of this, just think about, we don't know where Social Security is going to be in 2032. We don't. But imagine if you could set your child up where they would not need to be dependent upon Social Security or the government to provide their retirement funds for them. So I've been told we're also developing a calculator that will allow you to play with the numbers to see what it might look like. Because maybe your number isn't $1 million. Maybe it's 250. Maybe it's 500. Maybe it's 750. You can choose what you want that number to be and how much you want to set aside for that program. So in the meantime, your financial professional can help you decide. Now, this is a number that threw me off a while ago too, but 250 children born every minute could live a different life if their parents or grandparents did this for them when they were young. So think about the birthday parties, the baby showers, all these gifts that people give when someone is expecting a child. Imagine that. Some of those dollars could be dedicated to a program like this for your child or grandchild or niece or nephew. It doesn't really matter. Now you see why we call this strategy the $1 Million Baby. So how appreciative would your kids be one day, perhaps when you're gone, that their parents thought about their future? You knew how money works and you acted in love to take care of them, right? That's a thank you that could change your legacy forever. And do it generation after generation after generation, right? Think about changing your family tree. How could you do that? The $1 Million Baby is one way. And so once again, sucker-minded people leave it all to chance while the wealthy-minded realize what a dream come true it would be to do that for their family. So you have to ask yourself, do I want to change my mindset as it relates to how money works? Do I want to think like the sucker or do I want to think like the wealthy? Choice is yours. Now the question is, are you having fun yet? So we're closing in on today's class. So now my favorite part, at least one of my favorite parts, and this was a shocker to me when I first learned this, is the Rule of 72. So have any of you heard of the Rule of 72 before? If you have, put it in the chat. It's a little known mental math shortcut that the wealthy have used for years. So everyone should know it. This is what we talk about junior high and high school math. This should be one of the leading concepts that we learn in school, because this will affect our future for the rest of our life if we don't know about it. But also, if we do, we can shift things, okay? So you simply divide any interest rate into the number 72, and it will tell you how long it takes for your money to double. So it works for you if you're saving money. It works against you when you borrow money. So I'm going to give you an example. So at 1%, it's going to take 72 years for $1 to turn into 2. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait 72 years for my money to double. So I want you to keep that in mind. So would anyone knowingly choose that on purpose? Because we're going to come back to that, okay? So remember that. 1%, 72 years for your money to double. Would you choose that on purpose? Now, as you can see, the better rate of return you get, the faster your money can double. So at 3%, your money doubles every 24 years. At 6%, it doubles every 12 years. At 9%, every 8 years. And at 12%, your money doubles every 6 years. Now, that's more like it for me. That's what I'm talking about. I want my money to double every 6 years. Every 6 years, you get a double. So 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 80,000, 160, 320, 640. Those are the kind of doubles I like. So here's another way to look at it. In terms of the number of doubles you could have over your lifetime, at 1%, you'll be lucky if you live long enough to see your money double one time. At 6%, you could have 4 doubles. And at 12%, it could be as many as 8 doubles in your lifetime. So each double is twice the money. Every double counts. Every double counts. Now, remember the question about the 1%. So would you choose 72 years for your money to double? And this is because people don't know how money works. So there's almost staggering, almost $10 trillion sitting in passbook savings accounts that average 0.09%. And that's just a fraction of 1%, right? A fraction. It's almost a tenth of 1%. So when CNBC did a review of our book a few months back, actually it was a couple years back, this is the one thing they pointed out to be almost unbelievable, because many of the actual institutions' savings accounts bank rates were even lower. And if you look on the sheet here, do you see your bank? And actually, what is the typical interest rate on a savings account? So look up there and see if you see your bank. I mean, I see some big name banks that are really, really common. So you have to ask yourself, is your bank up there? Now, at the average return of 0.09, if you divided that into 72, you're looking at 800 years for your account to double. By the year 2820, so as George says, his great grandchildren will love that. And not to mention, just so we're clear, the same place that gives you the 0.09 can charge you 70% or more for a credit card. So you have to understand the business of money. So the same people that are paying you for you loan them your money, what are they making on the flip side when they give you a credit card or a car loan or a mortgage? How often does their money double? So if we think about the credit card example at 70%, that means their money doubles every 4 years. So that debt that you're holding on to, their money is going to double every 4 years. Now you see why the subtitle of the book is Stop Being a Sucker. So you need to know how money works today, not tomorrow, but today. And I hope that you're grasping this information, because it's very, very important. And you start thinking about things differently every single day when you get ready to spend money. So of course the bank will give you, and I don't know how, when I used to go to the bank when I was younger, I would love going up to the counter because I would get the lollipops, right? The bank will give you a lollipop for your trouble for waiting in line to make a deposit. So you're giving them your money so that they can invest it. What brand is it usually? And so if you don't know, I would say next time you go to the bank, make sure you look at the wrapper really, really well because they're called Dum Dums. Now, was that on purpose? I don't know. Can we make that up? No. It's like they're trying to tell us, but you just don't know the code. It's like, going to the back room, knocking on the door, and you have to have the passcode or the password. If you don't know it, you can't get in, right? So now you can also use this to figure out what return you'll need for a savings goal or what a loan will cost you. So you can flip this. So we're going to go through an example real quick. So if you know 72 and you know how many years you have left, let's say for retirement, if you divide 72 by the number of years left, it'll tell you the interest rate that you need to get in order to reach that financial goal. So the rule of 72 is extremely important to know because you can interchange the pieces of the math equation to figure out different numbers for yourself. So this is not the time to be sucker-minded. So this is the time to apply the rule of 72 to all of your finances like wealthy-minded people do. Stop being a sucker. Start being a wealthy-minded individual. So we are at the conclusion of today's course. I hope that you have grasped those three concepts, the time value of money, the $1 million baby, but then also the rule of 72. So principles like you just learn will bring up multiple questions. So the things that you've learned today, you'll start asking yourself these questions. So should you use a bank account? If I do, what should I use it for? What are other safe options? Yes, people ask that all the time. Should you refinance a loan at a lower interest rate? Maybe, I don't know. What can you do to help make more money? Or what can you do to help make more doubles possible? That's a great question. Like, how can I make my money double faster? A financial professional is the best person to turn to for questions like these and also others. And then this is something that we can discuss with you. So if you don't have one or need help choosing one, we can help you with that. So let's talk about the big picture. So our mission is to teach 20 million families how money works within the next decade. So 2032, we want to educate 20 million families. So we're going to stamp out financial illiteracy in every community. It's a huge undertaking and one that will require an army of thousands and thousands of How Money Works educators. So just know we're looking for people to help us teach these classes. That's where you or somebody you know can come in, help us out, and help spread the word. So we're at the end of today's Elements class. This is concepts. So think about which concept resonated with you the most. That's why we started on this mission of eradicating financial illiteracy. This is how you start to take control of your finances. We call it the money discovery. So part of attending this course is we help you if you don't have a financial professional. So this works like driving directions. Like when you go to your Google map, you put in a starting point and you put in a destination where you want to end up. The exact same thing. 2 points of reference. Where are you today? And then where do you want to end up by the time you retire? So the same is true when you're trying to when you're trying to chart a course for your financial roadmap. The How Money Works Money Discovery is the book that can help you take care of that. So our How Money Works experts are available to sit down with you now that you've attended at least one of the Elements classes. So we've done foundations, we just did concepts. The question is, how do these concepts work with your financials and your personal numbers? And how much faster will you be able to complete the 7 money milestones when you have an expert guiding you through the process? So your discussion will be private, it will be short, and focus exclusively on your financial goals. So if you are interested, our experts can crunch your numbers, make recommendations, and give you access to the best products and services available. Now, if you like, you can text me right after this class, and let's get started putting your money to work for you today. So if you like what you learned today and would like more, you can also follow How Money Works on Instagram at How Money Works Official for more practical tips, helpful resources, and we will see you next time. I am Michael Rayford, How Money Works educator for the How Money Works company, and we will see you next time. Have a great evening, guys, and I'll see you next week.